Hello and welcome. Before we move on to the basic recipe and using EFT for the first time, I want to tell you a story that comes from Roger Callahan. Now, he tells the story of a man who woke up one morning with an awful, raging toothache. And the toothache was so bad that he took himself immediately to the dentist, but as he was getting dressed, he put on a pair of shoes that had always been too tight, and he knew that at some point during the day that they would cause him some discomfort. But he put them on nevertheless. He was just desperate to get to that dentist, get that tooth seen to. So he arrived at the dentist and the receptionist asked him to wait. So he sat in the waiting area on the only chair that was available, and it happened to be a really lumpy chair. But because he was in so much pain with the tooth, he didn't notice how lumpy the chair was. After 2 or 3 hours of waiting, the dentist happened to come out and he saw his patient sitting there, evidently in a great deal of pain. And he said to the patient, "Look, I can't see you right now, but I can give you a shot of Novocaine to help relieve your pain before you come in to see me." So the patient agreed, and the dentist gave him a quick injection into the mouth to numb the pain. So as the painkiller started to work and the man started to feel a bit better, what he noticed was that his shoes were really hurting. They were really tight and really uncomfortable. And the better his mouth felt, it almost seemed the tighter the shoes became. And in the end, he just had to bite the bullet and take the shoes off in the waiting area, and was just so relieved. You know, you can imagine, can't you? And as the sensation came back into his feet, as the discomfort from his feet subsided, so he started to feel that lump in the chair. And the chair became the greatest distraction that there was, this lump sticking into his backside, making every position uncomfortable. And in the end, he found himself sort of curled up on the chair and fell into an exhausted, pain-free sleep. Eventually, of course, the dentist came out and the tooth was extracted and the man went home. But the purpose of this story is to illustrate a phenomena that we can all experience. And this is that we can all have big things happening in our lives, or issues that take up our entire focus. And once that issue has been removed, then something else comes into focus that needs to be dealt with. And then perhaps something else after that. And it can seem, when you use EFT, when you come for therapy, as you're going through life, that nothing's getting better. But actually, as you see in the story, things did get better for that guy. The pain did go in his tooth, he did remove the shoes, and the pain went from his feet, and eventually, when he left the surgery, that lump was no longer there. So what often happens during therapy, during EFT, is that one issue, perhaps the big issue, the issue that's first and foremost in your mind, gets dealt with, and then something else presents itself, like peeling back the layers of an onion. And sometimes coming across another layer can be discouraging. It can be taken as evidence of the complete existence of the original problem, rather than as evidence that the layers of the problem are being peeled back and resolved one by one. So where there is a complex issue to deal with, often EFT takes longer. It takes longer because we're resolving one issue at a time, one layer at a time, one aspect of a problem at a time. And that brings me on to the table metaphor in the next video.